county. I've lived in it for 50 years, and it's a special place. And for the past 20 of those years, I've worked in the Treasurer Tax Collector's office. And under my tenure, I've seen the office transition from a totally manual operation to one of the most technologically advanced in the state. And actually, a lot of counties have come to us as a model to kind of do the same thing that we're doing, and that's because we're advanced, and we're very proud of that. I've been involved in the administration of the staff that has grown from 30 to 66, having absorbed the Revenue Services Department 4 years ago. I understand all the inner workings of the office. I understand the functions. I understand all the responsibilities and complicated duties. Let me start by explaining to you the immense importance of effectively managing the tax collector treasurer's office and how we protect the public's hard-earned tax dollars. One area of responsibility is making smart investments that ensure a prosperous future. And over the past 10 years, and despite the losses of Lehman and the economic recession, the county's fund has ballooned $662 million. I've played an integral role in that growth, having been a deputy tax collector for the last 9 of those years. Don't let my opposition fool you into believing that our investment area requires restructuring or the creation of an advisory panel of professionals to oversee it. Refinement of our investment policy and practices allowed us to outperform our benchmark competition, which is a state-run pool, by 50 cents on every dollar last quarter. We also earned Standard & Poor's highest rating based on our conservative nature of investments and safety of principle. Our performance has been strong, and our performance has been consistent. For those of you familiar with the office, and the many of you who are here today supporting me that actually work in the office, you know that investments are not the only factor of the job responsibilities of this office. For instance, I've also been responsible for the issuance of 70 school district general obligation bonds with an issuance value of well over $2 billion, and numerous short-term school district tax and revenue anticipation notes. This is not a process that one just picks up, and a lot of people here will vouch for that. It involves the review and approval of legal documents, contracts, resolutions, the sale of bonds, and biannual payments to bondholders. I'm also responsible for developing and monitoring the department's $9.6 million budget. As a result of my conservative budget planning, I have successfully met the 20% and 30% reduction target imposed by the county manager with no impact to my staff and no impact to the services that we provide. I'm certain that my opponent is completely unfamiliar with this process. Despite the public questioning of my qualifications, he specifically asked me to take time to explain the budget to him. Other responsibilities include serving as a liaison between the county bank and all the county departments, the school districts, the special districts, the community college districts. The needs of these entities must be monitored to ensure that they have the appropriate services and accounts in place to make their financial processes and services efficient and effective. I've developed countywide banking policies and procedures which require a detailed understanding of governmental bank rules, state laws, and government code. I'm also responsible for treasury oversight. Our cashiering area reconciles deposits totaling $20 to $30 million daily and $60 to $70 million during peak tax collection. Talk about balancing a checkbook. But there's even more. One of the essential functions of the office is the billing and collection of property taxes. There are an exhausting amount of state laws and government codes that dictate the process, and also the relationship between the assessor, the controller, and the tax collector in managing that process. All in all, I'm responsible for sending out 340,000 tax bills annually and collecting $1.6 billion in property taxes. These are essential functions for our county, and they present a steep learning curve for my opponent. Serving as a trustee on the County Retirement Board is also a requirement. I've represented Lee as his alternate since 1995, and for the past 3 years have served as in his stead overseeing a $1.7 billion pension plan. I'm not naive about what it takes to run this office. My decades of experience and my relationships are what keep me apart from my opponents, and with me at the helm, we will not lose one day for on-the-job training. I have the track record to effectively manage the office, but I also have a vision for its future.